Good morning, everyone. It's Anand from ImageGrafix. I welcome you all to ImageGrafix Primavera webinar series. Today's topic is risk management using Primavera. Hope everyone is safe. Today, I have with me Mr. Pandian, our business head, and Mr. Srinivasan, our Primavera practice manager in the panel. Before we begin, all lines will be muted to reduce background noise. If you have any question, please use question box or raise your hand uh, to address your question, and a link of recorded session and a participation certificate will be emailed to all the participants. So this is our corporate profile. We are ImageGrafix Software FZCO, founded in 1996, based out of Dubai. These are our group companies, and we have offices in UAE, Abu Dhabi, Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and in India, all the major metro cities. And please visit our website to know more about us. So in ImageGrafix, we offer solutions from tendering to handover stage, from capital planning, portfolio management, enterprise project management, project cost controls, engineering and analysis, field management, and handover management. Coming to our agenda today covers complete risk management using Primavera. First, we will see what is risk management, what are the processes involved in risk management, what are different techniques used for addressing these processes, and how these risks are managed using Primavera application. We will be seeing in multiple applications today. One is Primavera P6 EPPM, other is Primavera Cloud Services, and Primavera Risk Analysis. What is risk? Risk is an uncertainty. When it occurs, it will affect our project objectives such as scope, time, cost, quality, etc. So it might have one or more impacts, such as it might cause schedule overruns, or it might cause cost overruns. So different categories of risks are technical risks, resource risk, design risk, environmental risk, political risk. So few examples for these risks are non-availability of resources, delay in getting environmental clearance, delay in material procurement. These are few examples for risk. So before getting into risk management, we need to understand what is uncertainty and what is a risk. Although all risks are uncertain, not all uncertainties are risks. When considering what should go into a risk register or what needs to identify and manage proactively. So some filters is required, otherwise risk registry would be very large. We need to know which uncertainty matters and which ones we need to know and record and tackle. So based on this input, we come to the Proctor definition. Risk is an uncertainty that matters. And uncertainty, if it is favorable, it becomes an opportunity. If it is unfavorable, then it becomes a risk. This is risk management process flow. Risk management processes involved in identifying, assessing, and judging risks, assigning ownerships, taking actions to mitigate or anticipate them, and monitoring and reviewing processes. Planning a risk management. So in planning risk management, we describe how to approach, plan, and execute the risk management with a well-defined strategies, methodologies, and roles and responsibilities for managing these risks. And we also categorize these risks in plan risk management. In risk identification, we determine which risks might affect the project and document their characteristics. This is very important process in risk management, identifying a risk. Different tools and techniques used for identifying risks are root cause analysis, SWOT analysis, and constraint analysis. So after we identify the risk, we capture all these risks in a risk registry with its characteristics, such as what is the probability of that risk occurring, what is the cost impact that might have, what is the schedule impact that risk might have. Coming to risk analysis, we have two types of risk analysis. One is qualitative risk analysis and another one is quantitative risk analysis. Qualitative risk analysis is used to prioritize risks for further analysis or action by accessing and combining their probabilities of occurrence and impact. So not all risks are equally important. So we need to filter and prioritize them to find what are the worst risks and the best opportunity. Different techniques are used in qualitative risk analysis are probability and impact diagram, bubble chart, and risk prioritization. Coming to quantitative risk analysis is numerically analyzing the effect on overall project objectives of identified risks. Qualitative risk analysis shows accurate assessment of overall risk exposure. The common techniques used in quantitative risk analysis are Monte Carlo analysis, sensitivity analysis, and decision tree analysis. We will see this Monte Carlo analysis and sensitivity analysis in the Primavera application. Coming to after we analyze our risk, then we will plan how to respond to these risks. So in risk response planning, develop options and actions to enhance opportunities and reduce the risk to project objectives. So different strategies used for risk response planning is avoid risk, transfer, mitigate, and accept the risk. After we have uh, developed our risk response plans, then once the risk occurs, then we will implement these risk response plans. Then uh, we will note the how the risk, how effectively we have mitigated or averted the risk in monitoring risk. So in risk monitoring and control, we have to come back and look again at the risk registry on regular basis to see whether our planned actions have worked as expected and to discover if there are any new risks and is there any changes in the existing risks, such as what is the probability of occurring, what is the cost impact and schedule impact that risks might have. So like I explained, we have two different types of risk analysis. One is quantitative risk analysis and another one is quantitative risk analysis. Probability and impact matrix is used in qualitative risk analysis to prioritize our risk based on risk scoring matrix. So in one axis we have likelihood and in another axis we have threats. So how the risk score is calculated is probability and to impact. So these impacts are categorized based on our thresholds we define. So we define our thresholds by high, low, very low, or medium. So whatever the thresholds we have selected and what is the likelihood or the possibility of that risk occurring, we'll multiply this likelihood into impact, we'll get the risk score. Based on our risk score, we can prioritize our risks so that we know what are the risks we need to address immediately and what are the risks that are required our attention. This is risk scoring, how it works, probability into impact. The higher the risk score, the more serious the risk is. Coming to next is quantitative analysis technique, which is Monte Carlo analysis. Monte Carlo simulation numerically evaluates expectations of functions of random variables for which no analytical expressions are available. So using Monte Carlo analysis, we can answer what is the chance that I complete my project in time. What is the chance I complete my project in approved budget? When will I finish? 80% confident I can say that when will I finish? What are the activities that might cause my project delays and project overruns? So let us see how Monte Carlo analysis works. Monte Carlo analysis works on 3-point estimate where the system will randomly pick a value from the distributions what we have given as minimum, maximum, and most likely. So based on the number of iterations we run, and it will identify frequency of these results and give us what is the optimistic, pessimistic, and most likely values to complete our project in duration and cost. So coming to risk management in Primavera applications. In Primavera applications, we have Primavera P6 EPPM, Primavera Cloud, and Primavera Risk Analysis. These are three different applications which are part of Oracle Construction and Engineering Business Unit. In Primavera P6 EPPM, it has limited functionalities when it comes to risk management. It has only risk registry and risk scoring matrices where you can use to score your risk and prioritize it. Whereas Oracle Primavera Cloud or Primavera Risk Analysis, you can manage your complete life cycle of your risk management. All the features that involve from starting from risk registry, activity uncertainty, qualitative analysis, quantitative analysis, distribution analysis, mean impact, then sensitivity analysis. All the features are available in Primavera Cloud and Primavera Risk Analysis. You can manage your complete project lifecycle in these applications.
Anand,
yes, yes, sir.
My request, audience asking you to go a bit slow. I believe keep the audience view open, and
Okay,
please
sir.
make sure slide has been turned in that place. Then you start talking on the same.
Okay, sir. So coming to Primavera P6 EPPM overview. Primavera P6 EPPM, throughout this Primavera webinar series, we have seen what is Primavera P6 EPPM, what are the functions that it has. It is best in class project management, schedule management and planning tool, where it is completely web-based application, and it has a client version which is PPM, which is used by many planners and schedulers. So Primavera P6 EPPM, it helps you to collaborate with your team using its mobile applications such as team member mobile application, and you can report your progress using progress reporter, and you can manage your schedules to avoid any cost or schedule overruns, and you can also manage your resources in Primavera P6 EPPM. Coming to risk matrix in Primavera P6 EPPM. In risk matrix, we define what are the risk thresholds that we have. As I have explained, here you can see cost impact, schedule impact, and tolerance. So here we have defined cost, very high, high, medium, low, very low, and negligible. Like this, we can define our thresholds here, and based on these thresholds, our risk scoring matrix risk scores are calculated. So identifying the risk. So we have seen multiple techniques, tools and techniques what are used for identifying the risk. Once we have identified these risks, we will capture these risks in risk registry. So in this risk registry, we will capture these risks, give what is the cause, what is the effect, what type of risk is it, whether it is a threat or an opportunity, what is the probability of this risk occurring, what is the schedule impact it has, what is the cost impact it has. So all these things can be captured in risk registry, and after you create or capture these risks, you can assign these risks to the particular activities where this risk is impacted. So once we have captured this risk in risk registry, then we can go ahead and perform our qualitative risk analysis. So based on the risk matrix we have assigned and the probability of this risk occurring and the cost impact and schedule impact that this risk might have, that we have the system will automatically calculate the risk scores so that we can prioritize our risk and address these risks with high score. Once we have identified and prioritized our risks, we can create or prepare our response plans accordingly. Either we can wait for impact or accept these risks, or depending on what kind of threshold you can take, we can define our risk response plan and apply these response plans when these risks occurs. And after applying these response plans, we can capture what is the post response characteristics of these risks. Like I explained before, Primavera P6 EPPM has limited risk management features. We will go and see what is how the risk can be managed, complete life cycle can be managed in Primavera Cloud services. Coming to Primavera Cloud services, Primavera Cloud is a complete cloud-first platform for all stages of project lifecycle, and it gives real-time visibility into project cost, schedule, risk, and performance information through its flexible dashboards and reports, where it has multiple modules such as portfolio management, scope management, cost management, schedule management, risk management, lean task management, file management, and it also has mobile offering as well as fund management, and idea management is also part of Primavera Cloud services. Using all these modules, it has a completely integrated project management solution where an enterprise can use and reduce their risk of schedule or cost overruns. Coming to risk management module in Primavera Cloud Services, we can risk module provides qualitative risk analysis, quantitative risk analysis. We can also apply general uncertainty on the projects. So the key features here in risk module in Primavera Cloud Services are you can log all your project risks and using workflows and forms to create these proposed risks for approval, then prioritize risks based on risk scoring criteria, and you can use Monte Carlo and sensitivity analysis simulations to create your distribution charts, mean impact and tornado charts, and risk removal charts. Based on that, we can mitigate or we can reduce our risk exposure to our project. So we can seamlessly integrate this with Primavera P6 EPPM as well. So first, for analyzing step in risk management is we'll create a project, we'll create the WBS, we'll create activities, then we can apply activity uncertainty to these activities. Activity uncertainties gives you information about general uncertainty for each activity by defining 3 points estimate. So 3-point estimate is nothing but we'll give what is minimum, what is most likely duration, and what is maximum duration of this activity to be completed. So once we have given this activity uncertainty, apply this activity uncertainty and risk analysis. When we run the risk analysis, we get charts or results in this format as distribution results, mean impact results, and risk removal impact results. We will see all these in detail. Coming to qualitative analysis in Primavera Cloud, we have, like I explained before, we can use probability and impact matrix where we can define our cost and schedule impact and create our risk matrix and assign this risk matrix to a project so that the system will automatically calculate what is the risk score for each risk and as well as total project. So this is how the risk scoring matrix looks like, probability and impact scores. So based on this, we can identify what are the risks that needs our immediate attention.
Anand, can you
So
please go a bit slow?
yes, sir. Risk scoring matrices. Then coming to risk registry in Primavera Cloud Services, we have identified the risks. Now we will capture these risks in risk registry in risk module. We have different types of characteristics where we can capture here. We can capture what is the probability of that risk occurring, what is the schedule impact that this risk might have, what is the cost impact that risk might have, and you can also attach this risk to activities, and we can attach this to codes. We can add location of this risk, and if there are NLT related items, we can add these related items as well. We will see all these in the application. So once we have registered our risk, based on our risk scoring matrix, we have calculated our risk scores for each risk. So based on the risk scores, this risk registry chart view helps you to view the risk count and score band on probability and impact diagram. So based on the risk scores what we have created, we will get our total score here for each project, and you can see how many risks are there, what is the status of these risks. So all the things are displayed here. Coming to distribution results, now in the distribution results, risk modeling is done with Monte Carlo simulation and sensitivity analysis. From the distribution, you can determine the likelihood of completing the project at a certain cost and certain duration, or project starting or project finishing. So as you can see, we can see the distribution uh, of the results, what we had, what is the frequency, what is the cumulative frequency of these results on cost basis, on duration, as well as start and as well as finish. Coming to mean impact result, a risk mean impact analysis is useful to determine which risks and activities has the greatest average impact on your project duration and cost. The result of the mean impact analysis are presented in tornado graphs like you see here, which ranks each activity or risk according to their potential impact on project duration or cost. So with this information, we can easily determine which risk you want to address first, or which activities whose estimate you want to revise in terms of duration or cost. So these are the different types of mean risk available: activity delay contribution, activity cost contribution, risk delay contribution, risk cost contribution. We can see these tornado charts for both for pre-risk as well as post-risk, post-response, uh, post-response as well as pre-response and post-response together to analyze how effectively we have mitigated our risks. Coming to risk removal impact, risk removal impact analysis is also called sensitivity analysis, which is useful to determine which risks can have greatest impact on your project. Thus, our analysis also simulates the removal of all activity uncertainty values and measure the potential pessimistic finish impact on the project. The result of the risk removal impact analysis are presented as tornado charts, as you see here, which ranks the that have the highest potential negative or positive impact on the project. Okay, as you can see here, you can see these charts for both cost as well as finish date. You can see for pre-response and post-response as well. Okay, now we have seen how we manage our risk in Primavera Cloud Services. If that is a cloud-based solution, if your company is not cloud ready and you want to use risk analysis as a standalone, then we have another tool is Primavera Risk Analysis. Primavera Risk Analysis is full life cycle risk analytics solution where it has all the features what we have seen in Primavera Cloud, and it has a few more additional features as well. Since this is specifically designed for risk analysis only. So as you can see here, we can import our Primavera projects into Primavera risk analysis and perform our risk analysis using multiple techniques such as cost uncertainty, schedule uncertainty, and we can extract the reports of distribution analysis. Then we can have the tornado graphs and the other features that are available in Primavera risk analysis are schedule and cost estimate uncertainty. Now we have seen activity uncertainty in Primavera Cloud. Here we can also apply cost and schedule uncertainty at activity level and task existence uncertainty. So in some of the R&D projects, research and development projects, we have some tasks where we don't know whether this task will exist or not. So we can even capture that kind of risk where we can put what is the possibility of this task existing. We can put 20% or 15% or 30%. So coming to probabilistic and conditional branching. Like I explained before, we have one more technique in quantitative risk analysis, which is conditional branching, which is possible in Primavera risk analysis. We can, after we capture all the risks and we have done all our analysis, then we can go for mitigating this risk using risk mitigation plans. So we can also have a scenario based. If you have a project baseline and you don't want to disturb that baseline, you can create multiple scenarios for this project and analyze these risks and apply the risk analysis and responses so that your baseline remains same and your project, you can do your analysis on multiple scenarios as well. So with this, I have completed the theory session. Now we'll go and see the practical session, how actually this is working in application. So since Primavera P6 EPPM has limited functionalities, I'm directly going into Primavera Cloud. So this is Primavera Cloud homepage. Okay, now let me open a project. So I have opened a project. So let me explain what are the different modules we have in Primavera Cloud and how these are affected. So we have schedule management, we have scope management, we have risk management, resource management, cloud and cost and funds, then contracts, commitments, submittals, we have forms, we have lien management, we have reports and submittal and strategic alignment. So we have all these modules integrated as one, working as one solution to give our to enable our project managers and project management teams to take better decisions while performing their projects. So let me show how we will assign a project risk score here. Risk scoring matrix. We go to settings, project settings, then we will go to dictionary, then we will go to risk matrix. Here, like I explained, we will first create what are the thresholds what our company is ready to take. So it is cost type threshold where I have defined less than 240,000, it is very low. More than 240,000 to 480,000, it is low. And like that, I have defined my levels, different levels of my cost impact: high, very high, medium, low, very low. Then coming to my probability, I have defined these values based on the percentage of the risk occurring. It might be 20%, 30%, or 40%, 60%, or 80%. Then coming to my schedule impact, I have defined these values based on my duration. So for below 16 days, it is very low. They have 16 days to 32 days, it is low, medium, then high, and very high. This is how we define our risk thresholds. Based on our risk thresholds, we can create our risk scoring matrix. So we have already defined what is the impact impact thresholds. Based on that, the risk scoring matrix will be calculated. So we'll assign this risk scoring matrix to this particular project. Then we can start doing our qualitative risk analysis. We'll go to first to the activities. So I already have created a project with the WBS and activities and given all the relationships and durations here. So as you can see, uh, this is very user-friendly interface which we have here. Okay, then you can give all the details of an activity here. Then now we will see how we can apply general uncertainty or activity uncertainty to the project. I will go to apply activity uncertainty. Then here I can give what is the percentage of remaining duration, what is the minimum duration, what is the maximum duration, or what is the most likely duration I'll complete my activities. Let me select here 80%, 100, and here I'll give 140% and click apply. So the activity uncertainty has been completed. Now we can go to our risk analysis and run the risk. So let me run risk analysis from here. So we can select whether we can apply the risk only to project or only to project milestone and level of effort activities, or project and all the activities. And we can select whether risk removal impact is on or off, whether we can also include if there are any proposed risks. And well, if you want to risk only for pre-response or post-response, then that you can select, you can give what is the optimistic percentile you want to see. Let me give 50%. And what is the pessimistic percentile you want to see? Here it is 90%. Okay, once I run this, so I can give number of iterations I want this simulation to run. I have given 1000 iterations here. Now I am running the risk analysis. So my risk analysis is running now based on the activity uncertainty what I have given. Okay, let us give it one moment. Okay, now the risk analysis is completed. So like I explained, we have distribution result, mean impact, and risk removal impact charts available for us to do our risk analysis. So here, let me go to cost and see what are the things available here. So we have deterministic remaining cost, we have deterministic remaining cost probability. That means what is the probability that I will complete my project in time. So it is only 1% of the chance that I'll complete my project in time. in time. So we will see these analysis after we complete our quantitative risk analysis. So now we have seen how to apply our risk, general risk uncertainty at a project level. Now we will see we have how we can register our risk and how we can define their probabilities, risk probability, what schedule impact, cost impact, and how the risk score is calculated, and how we can give risk response plans, and what are the characteristics of the response plans. So now here I have created a design risk here, which has a probability of occurring is 20 to 40%. So these values comes from the risk thresholds what we said earlier. So I have selected the probability of this occurring is 20 to 40%. Then the schedule impact it will have is from 32 days to 48 days. Then I have cost impact of 240,000 to 480,000. So based on this, I have selected my probability of that risk occurring, my cost impact, and my schedule impact. Okay, so based on this, my risk scoring will be calculated. After my risk score is calculated, I can go and select and create these response actions, whether how I can mitigate or accept or transfer these risks. Okay, so that after after I take this responsive action, I will be able to mitigate these risks and reduce the impacts on my schedule and cost. So now, see, now I am reducing my impact from 16 to 32 days to 16 days, which is negligible. And my cost impact also I am reducing. So based on the uh, schedule and cost impact, we select post response, our risk analysis will be performed. So now we have seen how to capture these risks and give the characteristics of these risks. Now we will see how the risk scoring matrix risk score is calculated for this project. Okay, now here we have a register, then we have a chart view. Once I click on the chart view, it takes me to risk scoring matrices with the scores available for the whole project. I have here I have totally six risks. One is proposed, one is open risk, and four are active risk. And this score is calculated for entire project, and you can see here what are the risks that I have in critical stage. Two risks I have in very high, and two risks I have in medium, and two risks I have in low or very low. So based on this, I know what are the risks that I need to take my action against. So this is the probability and impact diagram that will come from the risk scoring matrices we have selected. So this is how we perform qualitative risk analysis using Primavera Cloud. So since we have already selected all the cost and schedule impact, now we can, based on the cost and schedule impacts, the system will now, we can run the risk analysis, okay, and see what are the different types of results that system is giving us. We'll go to risk analysis using risk tab. Here we have, like I explained, we have distribution, mean impact, and risk removal tabs. Okay, first I will explain distribution tab. So here in distribution tab, you can see what is your deterministic remaining cost problem. That means what is the chance that I can complete my project in budgeted cost. That is only 1% now. So what I need to do is I need to reduce my risk exposure using risk responses, and I need to update this post response characteristics in risk registry, so that when I go to my post response here, I will increase my chances. So as you can see here, it increased to 2%. And now it increased to 2%. So our goal is to bring this deterministic probability to 100%, so that we can complete our project in time and in cost. So you can see the various outputs which I'm getting here, which is optimistic remaining cost, and 50% remaining cost, then pessimistic remaining cost at 90%. So all these values are calculated based on Monte Carlo simulations. Now we have seen for cost. Similarly, we can see for duration. Okay, then we can see for start date, we can see for finish date. So all these values are automatically calculated using Monte Carlo simulations. Coming to mean impact, here, this mean impact gives you clear picture of which risks are delaying your project and which risks are contributing the most uh, cost contribution, and what are the activities that are contributing for the delay and cost overruns. So here we can see activity delay contribution, activity cost contribution, risk delay contribution, and risk cost contribution. If you select activity delay contribution, so these are the activities that are most impacted by the risks what we have captured in risk registry. Then coming to risk delay, so we have activity uncertainty here. Because of activity uncertainty, we are getting delayed by 59%. That means we need to reduce our activity uncertainty as much as possible, so to reduce this delay. So based on these outputs, we can focus on what are the risks that are impacting more, and we can deal with those risks whether by using the different strategies such as accepting, mitigating, or transferring these risks. Coming to risk removal impact, so here the system will rank the risks based on the contribution what it has on the activities, on the duration, and the cost. So as you can see, activity uncertainty is delaying my total project by 105 days, which is 18% of my project duration. It gives me all these values here for each risk, and you can either see for post response or pre-response, so that you can see what is the difference it is having. When you can go to cost, and say in cost also you can see what is the percentage of the cost it is affected, and which risk is affecting how much percentage, and what is the impact. Okay, so with this we have completed the quantitative analysis, qualitative analysis, and activity uncertainty in Primavera Cloud. Now we will quickly go to Primavera risk analysis. So this is Primavera risk analysis. We can software. We can import Primavera files using Primavera XCR, or we can connect this, integrate this Primavera risk analysis to Primavera P6 EPPM also. So if you want to use this as standalone, we can use Primavera risk analysis, where you have additional features such as duration uncertainty, task existence, and resource uncertainty, and probabilistic branching. All these features are available, and whatever the features that we have seen, distribution features like this, are available in risk analysis software as well. So we can also have tornado charts like this, what is the percentage of it occurring, and we can also have a distribution graph, how it is affecting your project in terms of duration and cost. Okay, so with this I am concluding my topic for today's agenda, and before we go for question and answers, these are the different types of services as in ImageGrafix provides. We provide implementation services, we provide integration services, we provide managed services, we have professional services and training services as well for all the Primavera applications. Thank you for attending today's session. If you have any questions, we will take it now.
Yeah. Hi, Anand. Thanks for the presentation. Of course, I have the. Let me read out the questions so that you and Srinivasan probably can question to answers. Once the questions completed on this question area, then we'll probably see the hands raise also. We'll address hands raise too, of course. Okay, the questions. The first one is basically like there are few questions we have answered it, of course. So, all right. Can we do it in standalone version, Jitendra, for the risk management and scope management for both users, of course. So,
Yeah, yes, we can. Hello.
yeah,
Yes, so we can use Primavera risk analysis for a standalone actually, and in like I explained, Primavera P6 EPPM, we can only do qualitative and risk registry.
okay. All right. The next is, typically we plan for 1 hour sessions with a 30 minutes theory and then 30 minutes Q&A. That's what we have done for last few sessions. But this session, I think Anand took some additional time, about like 45 minutes to that. So we have limited questions in the portion to answer it. Where he's trying to show not only basic concept plus some additional informations on the products. So probably a couple of products. It's not in one product. We are trying to show in options of couple of products. Primavera Cloud, risk analysis, standalone version. So probably it took some additional time, I believe. Okay, there is one question is been asked. Can you show one more time how risk is assigned to activities with more details? Can you? Is it possible to give a
Yes,
glimpse in Anand on this?
sure. Let me, so initially I will go to risk registry, okay, from risk tab here, okay. After I go to my risk registry, I have created my risk, okay, and I have given what is the probability of it occurring, what is the schedule impact and cost impact. Then I will go to my activities and assign my activities from the assignment tab here, okay, so that so it displays all the activities that are available for in this particular project. I can just simply select these activities, okay, and push them to assign them to this particular risk, okay. Then all these activities are selected here. So after that, either I can choose from here what is the schedule impact or what is the cost impact, or I can go here to schedule impact and override it so that I can define what is my schedule and cost impact. Here you can see we can define by activity. For each activity, I can define what is my minimum, what is my maximum, and what is my most likely duration here. Okay, we select triangle system, can select, okay, let me say that I will complete this activity within minimum I require 3 days, but most likely I might require 5 days to complete this activity, whereas maximum I will require 8 days to complete this activity. Based on the inputs we have given, system will randomly pick the values between this distribution to give us, based on the frequency of the results, it will give us the pessimistic, optimistic, and most likely results. It is similar for both cost and schedule overruns. So I
Okay,
think I have answered it.
thank you, Anand. Can we apply for PDFs of PMP? These webinars session participation not in a position to apply for PMP PDUs as of right now. No. We will be working on that, but it will be taking some time for us. But as of right now, no. Okay. The next question is, if the risk score is identified, what is the threshold is considered for decision? Srinivasan, you already made some answer. Do you want to elaborate to him?
Actually, when you have a risk identified, it should be associated with a threshold. So basically, the threshold has to be defined first, then only the risk score is calculated.
Okay. If anyone wants to speak to us, please raise your hand so that we can open your, we can unmute you, which you can speak to us and you can ask the questions, of course. Okay. I'm just going to the next questions, which makes risk response in Primavera P6, the cost involved in migrating the risk will be captured where? Will be part of initial budget or additional allocated upon risk identifications post risk link.
Okay,
And
I have answered this question,
already. Yeah. Do you want to
but
elaborate?
still I would like to elaborate on that.
Yeah.
So basically, what happens is you have something defined as a budget and something defined or calculated through the estimates, what you have done, right? So the estimate will be taken into consideration for calculation purposes. And once you have a risk identified and you have a mitigation plan on that, you have a cost associated with that, and that will be added on top of the estimate what you have done. But this estimate should be within the budget. While normally the budgets are prepared, you have a budget for the risk management also, right? So that will be part of this. To be frank, yes, you should have it as a part of the budget, and you have a place where you can enter the detailed cost for mitigation and other things that can be done in Primavera.
Okay. In terms of holistic saving, can you elaborate to value addition for big enterprise? Looks a bit of so technically you might be seen, of course, there are, especially for the enterprise wise, when you're trying to go, of course you can position to do. Typically we try to do it on the project specific, right? Srinivasan, I think, or Anand.
Yeah, correct.
Yes. Yes.
So, but when it's based on the project size, definitely the risk analysis is going to have more value for you, because when the project duration is long, project value is high, then the need of requirement on the risk analysis goes higher, of course, to you. In terms of the cost effectiveness, if you're thinking, then there is a value add on the Oracle Primavera Cloud. Being a cloud, it is going to be, the initial investment is going to be lesser. Of course, the risk analysis, the Primavera risk analysis, which you are going as a standalone, then the initial investment will be higher, of course. But that is on the commercial side, which I'm talking about. Technically, as a big enterprise who is doing a big projects, I think the risk analysis is almost like a mandatory tool. Definitely they have to assess their the big projects by using the risk analysis. Okay.
They can also see the risk scoring at program level using Primavera or Primavera Cloud services. Based on the risk scores what you have at project level, you can also roll them up to the program level also.
Okay, there is one Samir Dalvi would like to have a Primavera Cloud for evaluation purpose. Yes, my request to you is, yes, we can kindly put up an email on the same. We will definitely have one discussion, and we will evaluate your requirement accordingly. We are open to provide Primavera Cloud on for certain period on a trial basis, of course. Yes, it's possible. Please send an email request to us. We will have a discussion. We'll take approval and we'll consider for the same. Will you share the recorded session? Yes, recorded section of the webinar you will be receiving in 2 days of time, of course. Okay. Can P6 cloud platform can be accessed from any desktop? If the yes, you are right. It's a cloud. Anywhere from the world you can position to use it. So you need to keep your username password. So a person who have the username password, he can position to access their license worldwide anywhere, of course. All that you need is a browser, good connectivity. That's all. Okay. Is it very much possible to how many participants at today's sessions? I don't know. Is very keen to know that we are about like 1,000 participants got registered for today's session for us. Okay, and we are expecting more in next time. Thank you for your questions and other things. We do a training on Primavera, especially on the weekend batches in the Middle East, like Friday and Saturdays will be done, and it is like a short-term course. It's like a 4 hours courses. It's online, interactive. The same way there will be you will be having a instructor who will be talking to you, clarifying your doubt then and there, and you will be given the licensed products to access and to do a practice session on the same. It's similarly that what you are doing typical classroom training, which we will be doing in a virtual class, interactions using the applications to do some practice, all these things on a short time on a specific topic. For example, the same risk analysis, the topic of 4 hours sessions will be done in detail with the hands-on practical sections. So this is which is available with us. Anybody who is interested on such short time courses on Primavera, risk analysis, resource management, scheduling, advanced scheduling, any of the topics is you can position to be in touch with us. We will also send an email separately on the same. That's a paid training, but it's a very small amount, of course. Okay, so we will be having. So if you are interested, please let us know. We can position to help you on the same. The fee is very minimal, as I told you. So it starts from like like $100 or let's say 300 dirhams, or in rupees I don't know how much to say, but it's like small amount we can position to start with this part. I'll be sending an email separately on the same, so we'd have this what are the classes available and what is the time and what is the fee. These all information, whomsoever the participants who have registered today, you will be in a position to get it on these things. There is all taking on final questions to conclude the sessions. In risk register, when we repeat 1,000, if we can use, then what risk they will show. I think Srinivasan, you wants to answer for this question. If you
Yeah,
want, I
let me
can
take this
open up.
question. Yeah, open up.
Can you what the name of the person is Tanya Keen? Can you just put your hands raised so that I can open up your, I can unmute your speaker, you can talk to them. Okay, Tanya is there. I put her hands raised. I'll just Tanya, it's that you can question to ask the question now.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi Tanya.
Thank you for this wonderful session. Actually, I was when you were showing that in register, when you type the 1,000 repeat, you can show that what the chart will show, but then you didn't show us. So can you just give me that what chart we will get or what risk we will get?
And then
Okay,
can you
we'll
just
show you that.
Okay.
Can you run the risk analysis once so
Yes, sir.
that how many iterations are there that they'll be able to see?
Here you written maximum iteration 1,000. So after that, what analysis we will get? Can you show once, please?
can you run
So
this and see
yes,
how many iterations it runs it, of course. Yeah.
yes, sir. So actually, before running these analysis, we will not have all these graphs. Okay, based on the analysis we perform, based on the risk we have already registered, these values are calculated. Okay, so whenever we do any responses, after the response we update our post response impacts on the project, right? On a risk. So
Okay.
once we have updated, then we will come back and run this risk analysis so that we can see how much impact we have reduced. That means how much we have reached that we can able to complete our project in time. That means you have seen here deterministic finish probability, right? So this the purpose of doing this exercise is to reach our probability of finishing our project to 100%. Okay.
So means
So
if I run the risk on my laptop, so it will
okay.
not show this diagram. It will show first all the zero, and then after running the iteration, it will shows the risk how many I will
No,
get.
no, it first it will show, see, for my project and what are the risk I have selected. For me, it is showing 1 or 2%, right? For your
Okay.
project, it might show 50%. That means you can complete, there are 50% of the chances that you can complete your project within time or within cost. So it all depends on what is the uncertainty you have selected and what are the cost and schedule impact what you have. Let me run this quickly. Okay, now it is running. So once you run this, so this is what happens basically. So the purpose of running it again and again is so that you can determine what is the post response and what is the pre-response. Let me open one more project here. Okay, here I'm going here to risk response plan. Okay, and I can select pre-response and post-response. I can see what is my pre-response and what is my post-response and how it is varies. Okay, based on the risk I have submitted, this will come.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Yeah.
I could see one more hands raised, so I'll just open up for him to conclude the session. Vishwanathan, your mic is open. Ask the question. Hi, Vishnu. Sorry, we are not able to hear you clearly. Are you able to hear him? Anant, are you able to hear him?
No, sir. The audio is not clear, sir.
Okay. Can you type your question? Sorry, please, we are not able to hear you. All right. So we hope we are managed to answer everybody's questions. Maybe we missed a couple of them, few of them probably. Anyway, thank you. Thanks for your all participation on this risk management webinar sessions. We will be doing one more webinar by next week. So we will send the invitations to you. That's again on the free webinar on a different topic all put together. We'll come back to you on the same. Okay. We do have a small money training, a short-term courses with the certificates, and there is a free webinars too, of course. So you will get notifications on all these stuff shortly from us. Thank you, thanks a lot. Bye.
Thank you all for
Thank
coming.
you. Thank you. Bye.